With VoigtJohnson Real Estate. You can hear the program every Thursday at 7:23 in the morning, Saturday morning as well at 7:50. Remember, start your home search at VoigtJohnson.com. So, how's the winter weather treating you?
It is what it is. My husband and I were talking about that, and I try to boost his spirits up and basically say, it's only 4 or 5 months. He didn't want to hear anything about that.
So the air was a little bluer around my house when I saw that snow. Man. I had to take pictures and send them to everybody. I said, sent one to my daughter, and I said, sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? Oh, way too early for this stuff.
Yeah.
What does that do to the real estate market these days, Heidi? And I have to ask you that because it's a different time in our lives right now, right? Interest rates are back up, they're 8% plus. Now we have super cold weather. People are hunkering down. I don't want to go outside.
Yeah, there's opportunity in every season, right? And that's where we look at what we're doing and sometimes you welcome the different patterns of change. Just simple things in our lives that change a little bit. When we're showing homes and it's dark at 4:30.
It's a little different, isn't it?
It is different. Sometimes we have to say, okay, well, let's schedule something on Saturday morning or during your lunch break to come back and see this when we can see the roof and it's light out and that type of thing. So just the practical things of real estate in general change a little bit. The interest rates are what they are at this point. I think that, there's some anticipation that they could adjust a little bit in the spring. I personally think that it's going to be a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
But what doesn't change is people's life changes. Right. And there's always reasons why people need to move. And winter is kind of this natural force that gives people time to plan.
Sure.
And so we like to coach people through that in getting them to be ready for when they are ready.
Do you have is it more of a challenge to sell a home or to that's not the right way to put it. Is it more of a challenge to get people to see what a piece of property really looks like, all the potential there, when it's covered by, 6 inches or a foot of snow?
Well, I think there are some challenges and there's things that we have to pay attention to, and ask maybe some more questions. But, we try to do as much as we can when we're working with people on a long-term basis. So, we have a catalog of listings that'll be coming next year where we have pictures already with the green grass.
Yep.
Sometimes we'll capitalize on using some of that homeowners pictures, but when we're helping buyers, it's a matter of really asking questions. And, but there's a lot of things like Google Maps, you can see what a property looks like now, that when it's not snowy because of some of those technologies.
Yeah, my wife and I would always take pictures of, the springtime, before and after kind of stuff. And then when it did come time to sell the house, you've got that stuff.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
Absolutely.
Okay. Fall and winter definitely here. Do things slow down? I mean, people have a lot of time on their hands, right? Wouldn't this be a great time to get that place spiffed up, ready to go?
Absolutely. And so I guess one of the things I receive in these coming months is there's a lot of people that will call and their questions are kind of twofold. I mean, one would be, hey, we're staying, but we want to know what improvements we can make because we're going to be here for 10 years. And then you get that other call saying, we're moving either next spring or the following spring.
Sure. What
can we do to get our house market ready? And the answers to those questions are a little bit different because when somebody is staying and they want to do an improvement, part of our mentality is don't put a $30,000 chandelier in a $150,000 home.
True.
But make some of those improvements that you're going to enjoy, right? So, when I'm meeting with people that are getting to the ladder of saying, next year or the following year we're going to do something, a lot of times people are thinking too big. They're thinking big projects like bathroom remodel and finishing the basement and doing all these things. I think that people should start small thinking, and the very, very first thing is to get into your house and start decluttering and organizing. And it's a gift to yourself because you're going to have to do it when you move anyway.
Sure.
And that's a first step.
Okay, so every time I've moved, it's been a one room at a time, right?
Yeah.
You're done with this bedroom. You vacuum the floor, you shut the door.
Yeah.
And I got to think it's the same thing, right? When it comes time to decluttering and stuff, one room at a time.
For sure, and what we do is we'll go into places and we'll just and tell them, yeah, do that exactly, and maybe even choose one room to be your storage room. Like if you have a lot of stuff and you really can't take up garage space and you don't want to rent a place, so okay, well, choose this to be your extra space. We don't have to photograph that room. And put your extra stuff in there.
Sure.
Making sure that people can see as much floor space is really, really important. The next thing we tell people is just clean. I mean, that you get real caught up on should I put in a new center island, and your island can be new, but if your house is dirty, that's not going to benefit anybody. So start with that.
Yeah, Halloween was last month. Get rid of the cobwebs.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Very affordable to paint,
Yeah.
and don't just necessarily say, well, HGTV is telling me that gray is the color. Visit a local paint store. I mean, there's a couple really great paint stores in town. The paint store in St. Cloud,
Sure.
Hirschfeld's, Sherwin-Williams.
Right.
They will give you a bank of cards or like a little swatch of colors where you can bring and see how that ties into your house well. And,
the color that I love is the one that changes colors as the sun comes through, or you got a shadow or whatever.
Yep.
Is that sage green? Is that tan? What is that?
Yeah, and there's a lot of those, and those colors though really will change depending on what you have for materials in your home. You can choose a really light white or gray, and all of a sudden it looks blue because of the hues in your carpet.
Sure.
So painting is a great way to get that cleanup started because you have to move everything, and then when you do that, don't put everything back on the walls and don't put every piece of furniture back in place. Maybe store some of that out and get those things out. You're going to want to go and start repairing everything that needs to be repaired.
Like the drippy faucet, the running toilet, the nick here, the gouge there.
Yeah, the carpet that the cat scratched up, and the door that the dog destroyed, or whatever it might be.
How about cleaning my carpets?
Yes, but I would say that it would be one of those things that you possibly do right before you're ready to do that. And and sometimes people may have a room that they need to replace that carpet. So then those conversations saying, well, do we just replace this carpet, or do we invest in maybe doing like an LVP throughout the entire thing?
You have a little note here. Create a wow space.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Give me an example.
Well, I think sometimes when people have been in a home for a long time, their concept of I need to do improvements, it's too large scale. So if I go into a home that was the bee's knees in the 1980s and nothing has been done to it, you cannot do every room. You just can't because it's not going to be equitable. But if you create a wow space, say the kitchen or a living room or one of the first rooms that somebody sees, and it feels like it was done in the last couple of years, you are creating a vision for that buyer saying, well, I can do this throughout the other space. Right. So you've got that wow space that kind of entices you that I can do this to the rest of the home.
When does my spring market start? How much time do I have?
Oh, you have lots of time, but not very much time as you think. Spring is one of those things when we think about the market, people are thinking green grass, those type of things. I believe the spring market starts in February, March. I've shared this for years, and because it has more to do with money than weather. If it was weather driven, why wouldn't Florida always be in a spring market, right? And what happens after people have the holidays, they say, I'm never spending another Christmas here, it was too tight. They have Thanksgiving, we don't have enough room for all the tables. And so people start thinking and planning for the next year, and that has more to do with their planning needs and the money that comes into the market for first-time homebuyers, generally with tax refunds.
All right, folks, start planning now. Make the phone call. Heidi Voigt, VoigtJohnson Real Estate. What's the number?
320-774-2400 is our office line. You can visit VoigtJohnson.com. We've got a great menu of agents for you to choose from.
Lots of knowledge today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Taking You Home is on the air every Thursday morning at 7:23, Saturday morning at 7:50 here on KNSI. Start your home search at VoigtJohnson.com.
All right. Cool?
Cool.
Not too long?
No.
All right.